Today, December 8th, is a very important day not only for global Christianity, but for art, history, and the hearts of all good men. Today is the reopening of the Notre-Dame Cathedral in Paris. This event is an important milestone after the devastating fires of 2019 that destroyed much of the cathedral, including its roof and spire. On April 15, 2019, a massive fire destroyed a large portion of the Notre Dame structure, including the roof and spire, causing global shock. Fortunately, the efforts of firefighters saved most of the structure and the treasures it housed. After the fire, a gigantic restoration operation began, financed in part by private donations. French President Emmanuel Macron promised that the cathedral would be restored within 5 years, which was achieved through a series of efforts by both restoration experts and volunteers. On December 8, 2024, the official reopening of Notre-Dame de Paris will be celebrated, a date that coincides with the celebrations of the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, an important event for the Catholic Church in France. One of the most emblematic aspects of the restoration is the reconstruction of the spire, which was designed by the architect Eugene Viollet-le-Duc in the 19th century. The restoration has been done with traditional techniques and materials, but new technologies have also been used to guarantee the stability and authenticity of the structure. Notre-Dame de Paris is a fundamental symbol for French culture and Christianity. Its restoration is not only an architectural achievement, but also an act of preserving the history and identity of France. One of the most symbolic elements that was damaged in the 2019 fire was the cathedral spire, a 96-meter-high structure that was carefully restored. Instead of using modern materials, restorers have followed traditional methods, using stone, wood, and lead in the same way as in the 19th century. The wooden ceiling of the cathedral was also almost completely rebuilt. The sculptures and stained glass windows, which are a crucial component of Notre Dame's artistic heritage, have also been restored. Although the objective was to follow traditional methods, advanced technologies such as photogrammetry have been incorporated, which has allowed the cathedral to be mapped with great precision before and after the fire. This has facilitated the restoration work, guaranteeing fidelity to the original details. Notre Dame is not only a religious monument, but a national and global emblem. The cathedral has witnessed key historical moments, such as the coronation of Napoleon Bonaparte in 1804. Its destruction in 2019 deeply moved not only the French, but people around the world. As one of the country's main Catholic churches, Notre Dame is a spiritual center, and its restoration also has a significant religious dimension. Pope Francis has spoken about the importance of the cathedral and its restoration for the Catholic Church. Following the fire, large sums of money were raised through donations from both individuals and businesses. These donations were essential to finance the restoration. Well-known donors include billionaires such as Bernard Arnault, who pledged significant contributions. In total, more than €1 billion were raised, which has allowed both the physical restoration and the preservation of historical artifacts within the cathedral. December 8th is Immaculate Conception Day. The choice of the date is not coincidental. December 8th is a day of great religious significance, since the festival of the Immaculate Conception is celebrated. Furthermore, this day is traditionally a time of important liturgical events, so the reopening of the cathedral coincides with these celebrations, making the event even more solemn and significant. On that day, masses, processions, and, probably, an event chaired by the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, are expected to take place. It is a restoration ceremony that is both symbolic and religious, which will mark the rebirth of a national icon. Following the reopening, new areas will be open to the public, although certain sections may remain under restoration. The cathedral has been closed for years, so the reopening will be a moment awaited not only by parishioners, but also by tourists from around the world. The reopening will be an event marked by emotion. It is not only a religious celebration, but also an act of unity for France, which saw one of its most emblematic monuments rise from the ashes. The French are very proud of this restoration, which has become a symbol of national determination in the face of tragedy. There will probably be a strong international media presence. The event will attract visitors, journalists, and political leaders from around the world, making the reopening an event of great global resonance. The restoration has not been completed with the reopening in 2024. Some work, such as the restoration of the artifacts and the continued preservation of certain elements, will continue to be carried out in subsequent years. Conservation work will be carried out to ensure that Notre Dame can remain a symbol of French history for many centuries to come. Additionally, the cathedral will continue to be an active center of worship and pilgrimage, with regularly scheduled masses and religious events. It is expected that large events such as royal weddings, official ceremonies, and important masses will continue to be held. During the reopening, President Macron and other public figures are expected to attend a solemn ceremony. Additionally, masses and liturgical events are likely to be held to commemorate the cathedral's return to its original function as a place of worship. After the reopening, Notre Dame will reopen its doors to the public. However, it is anticipated that there will be some areas that will be restricted for safety reasons or continued restoration.